Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Thursday, June 28th, 2018. And it is a very stormy morning out there with some very heavy rainfall and some embedded thunderstorms producing rainfall rates over a half an inch, even as much as over an inch per hour in some locations to the north of Philadelphia this morning. All of this is associated with a warm front that is on the move. That'll produce the majority of our rainfall for today, so we get it out of the way in the morning, but unfortunately it's during the morning rush hour. Temperatures this morning range from the upper 60s to lower 70s with a southerly wind that will become more southwesterly as we move on through the day. A cold front will move through later on, which we could see right about here. That cold front will produce a few isolated showers of thunderstorms, but it will be weakening as it moves towards the region as it loses a lot of its punch. When we take a look at the surface map again, you can see our warm front. This is the frontal boundary that has most of the lifting. Here's our area of low pressure that will continue to lift up towards central New York. Our cold front will follow, but again, won't really have much of a punch behind it. An isolated shower of thunderstorms possible this afternoon, but for the most part, sky cloud cover is expected, with temperatures rising into the lower to mid 80s throughout the region. On the radar, you can see that heavy rainfall. Now, this has really weakened over the about past 15 to 20 minutes, but it produced some very impressive rainfall just to the north of Philadelphia, heading towards Trenton and Ewing. Now it's heading towards the New York City metro, still producing some very heavy rainfall, some rumbles of thunder. The good news is that none of these thunderstorms have reached severe levels, but certainly if you're in some of these heavy downpours, use some caution and take some time. The majority of this rainfall will be out of here by the time we get to around 11 a.m. noon, so get through this morning. And then the rest of the day, sure, it's a bit more muggy, but not that bad overall. Take a look at the latest infrared satellite picture. What's really impressive, look at the lifting that's associated with this warm front. You know you have strong lifting because your cloud tops are very cold. The colder the cloud tops, the higher they are in the atmosphere, and the stronger the lifting. So what's happening is that we get this little mid-level disturbance, we get the warm front move through, they combine, boom, there is your heavy rainfall, and that will continue to lift off to the northeast through the New York City metro and then into southern New England as we move on through the morning. And then, as you can see, behind that we have our cold front, but there really isn't much in the way of lifting here, not really much oomph here. So with that being the case, and really there isn't much of an air mass change behind this cold front passage as it loses a lot of its support. So we're really not expecting much in the way of precipitation, just an isolated shower or thunderstorm possible in the afternoon. So let's dive into this forecast. Majority of the rainfall is this morning, this afternoon, isolated shower or thunderstorm. The isolated thunderstorm will be capable of very heavy downpours, occasional to frequent lightning, and wind gusts over 30 miles per hour. Most of these thunderstorms will remain below severe levels and kind of pop up and fall apart pretty quickly. Temperatures today will rise into the lower to mid 80s. For this evening, the hot and humid air mass starts to take hold at the mid-levels and starts to build its way down towards the surface. Watch out for some locally dense fog in the morning hours tomorrow, but otherwise sky cloud cover with lows in the mid to upper 60s. For tomorrow afternoon, sky cloud cover. Can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm with that weak trough moving through, but for the most part, sky clouds are expected with highs in the mid to upper 80s. On Saturday, hazy, hot, and humid weather conditions start to take hold. Look for scattered cloud cover for the most part. Locally dense fog in the morning, especially right along the coast. An isolated thunderstorm is possible with a sea breeze front or a weak little short wave moving through. But for the most part, we're talking about the heat and humidity, with low temperatures in the lower to mid 70s. High temperatures in the mid 80s on Long Island. Upper 80s to lower 90s on the immediate coast. Lower to mid 90s everywhere else. And that is pretty much rinse and repeat for the entire forecast period for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4th of July, and on Thursday. We continue on with this pattern where basically we end up with a threat for locally dense fog in the morning, a threat for an isolated shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon with a passing weak trough or a weakening cold front or a sea breeze front, something of that nature, very weak in nature. Keyword there is isolated. But the main story through this forecast period is going to be the heat and humidity. Now, it's not going to be historic, but remember, we really haven't had a lot of hot and humid days, or certainly not a long string of them. So this is going to be the best potential of seeing our first real heat wave where temperatures are above 90 degrees for many locations for more than 3 days. So generally look for temperatures to range from the lower to mid 70s in the morning. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 80s on Long Island, especially as you head towards the South Shore. Okay, upper 80s to lower 90s on the immediate coast, like if you're going right to the beach or you're in JFK. Okay, so basically upper 80s to lower 90s. Lower to mid 90s everywhere else. Urban areas, Newark, Philadelphia, New York City proper, all those locations, lower to mid 90s, ranging anywhere from 90 to 95 degrees. The key here is going to be the heat index. The heat index is going to range anywhere from the mid 90s to lower 100s when you throw in that humidity. So I would certainly suggest drink plenty of water, stay indoors if you can, hang out by the pool. Hey, it's 4th of July, a good time to do so. And basically try to stay cool and keep an eye on those kids and the elderly. That is your forecast discussion for today. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino, and as always, stay safe out there.